Hello, I'm Doug Powers, Superintendent of Basehor-Linwood Schools. We want to talk to you a little bit about Bond 2024. In 2021, we were beginning another round of strategic planning, and as we began that round of planning, we met with staff, we met with students, we met with patrons, and we listened to what our school community desired in the next 5 years. As we did that, we reviewed our mission and our vision. Our mission statement is that each student develops and reaches their potential. It was a small change from before, but it got very much more specific. Each student and their potential. Our vision has always been our vision, but we just hadn't articulated it in writing. So we strive to be an educational community where we work all aspects of the child: social, emotional, academic, and physical well-being. And we want to do it with passion, and we want to do it with high expectations. Our strategic plan is comprised of three main pillars: student success, operational excellence, and equity and efficiency. Today we're going to talk about the operational excellence pillar, and specifically managing growth. Let's talk a little bit about Bond 2018 that's wrapping up. In 2020, we opened the Early Learning Center, and in 2021, we opened up Greyhawk Elementary. We also added a Performing Arts Center to the middle school, as well as science classrooms on the 6th grade wing and flex spaces on the 7th and 8th grade wing. We opened Linwood Elementary in 2022, and we completed a secure entry at Basehor-Linwood High School in the fall of 2022. Now we look forward. As we begin discussing the response to the growth, we need to start with how to pay for it. Over the next few years, we'll be paying off old debt. We'll be retiring $43 million in debt by 2030. We have identified some critical needs, but there's much more to be discussed and planned. Safety and security, Basehor-Linwood High School expansion and upgrades, expansion of the Early Learning Center, and then other items as identified by our staff and our community input. Safety and security is always front of our minds. Bond 2018 provided secure entries and locked vestibules. But as we move forward, it's time to think about reliable phones in each classroom, enhanced access control on all of our doors, interior as well, additional cameras around the district, and upgrades to our intercom systems. In 2021, we conducted an enrollment and growth analysis. The projected opening enrollment for this school year at the high school was 888 students, up from 863, a 2.8% increase. Basehor-Linwood High School is out of room with over 900 students this year, or a 4.8% increase, leaving us way ahead of our projections. The enrollment analysis told us that this year's 5th, 6th, and 7th grade classes may be the largest cohorts that we've had, 250 or more. And by 2027, those students will be at the high school as 9th, 10th, and 11th graders, pushing the building to a capacity of over 1,000. We also have the challenge of open enrollment legislation. That open enrollment legislation could push us well past our capacity with no real way to predict what the enrollment at any one of our schools could be. Current Basehor-Linwood High School needs are additional classroom space to accommodate the growing enrollment, a multi-purpose space to accommodate the larger size of the high school, allowing for weights to be brought into the building so that we're not traveling outside, allowing for large group events to be held in the school. We simply can't contain the entire student body in the auditorium any longer. It would also allow for marching band to be inside during inclement weather, athletic teams to be inside during inclement weather, or other large group events. By moving weights into the building, we're able to bring wrestling back to the main campus rather than off-site in a special education administrative building. A dedicated cafeteria space that's adequate for our student population is an immediate need for our high school. This allows us to get all of our students into one space and aids in safety and security. The decision to move forward has to happen in February of 2024 in order for the high school to be ready for those incoming classes by 2027. The restrooms at Basehor-Linwood High School are in desperate need of modernization. New fixtures, replacing fixtures that we no longer have parts for, are a critical need for our high school. The Early Learning Center has a waiting list. It was designed to be expanded. We've reached the capacity of phase 1, and it's time to add the remainder of the building that would approximately double the capacity. We know that participation in early childhood education is critical for success as a student enters kindergarten and moves through the grades. For every dollar that we spend on early learning, we save up to $16 in remediation later on. As we've begun to have conversations with staff, we're beginning to identify other areas that would provide additional space or that would enhance current space. Some of our additional needs include an additional music room. Currently we have orchestra playing just outside the kitchen. We have band practicing in the sports foyer that is also doubling now as an auxiliary cafeteria. More parking at the high school, those bathroom renovations that we discussed. A technology warehouse is also needed. Every student in our district has a device. Having a place where we can securely store those devices, where we can repair those devices, is a critical need. Elementary playgrounds could use some improvement. Also on our list is storage at Glenwood Ridge Elementary. There's never enough storage at a school, but truly at Glenwood Ridge, there is not enough room. We'd be adding a storage room connected to the gymnasium and the current kitchen. This would allow us to move all of the cafeteria tables out of the gym cafeteria space into the storage room, also store all the materials for our before and after school care program, while allowing an expansion of the kitchen space by pushing the cooler and the freezer into that storage room. Other additional needs include seating at all of our athletic venues, football, soccer, softball, and baseball, lights at softball and baseball, and sound at soccer, softball, and baseball. We have a tennis team that has 34 young ladies out this fall, and we have no tennis courts. We were practicing in Wyandotte County, and the time will come that we'll no longer be able to utilize that facility. Also, at the middle school, we have a track and we have a natural turf field. That track is an asphalt track and not suitable for running on. So adding a new synthetic track with an artificial turf would be a great benefit for our middle school programs. We have almost 100 athletes out for football at the middle school this fall, and last spring we had over 150 athletes out for track. This would also be a great addition for our community, as many of the youth programs utilize our turfs, our tracks, and all of our outdoor facilities for their practices. Now it's time to ask for your help. We've given you a lot of information. Take out your phone and scan the QR code. There's 2 questions. The first question is, what's your main priority? Your main priority might be something that we didn't mention, and that's what we want and need to know. So please type in your main priority. When you're done with that, move to the second question. This is a space where you're able to ask any question or make any comment that you would like us to address. So please do that as well. While you have your phone out, scan this QR code as well. This is an open-ended feedback through a Google form. It is anonymous, so please feel free to ask questions, give input. You don't have to fill it out right now, but be sure that you get it done before the October 9th board meeting, because we will be closing this form to get the data ready for the board meeting. 2 last QR codes. If you're a parent, scan the parent form. If you're a community member, scan the community survey. These are the surveys that are on our website, so if you've completed those surveys, no need to do it again. These are yes/no type questions, not an open-ended feedback, but again, it gives us the opportunity to gather more data and put this together for the board presentation in October. We'd like to thank you for watching this. If you have any questions, feel free to stop by the district office or to give us a call, 913-724-1396. We'd be happy to answer your questions or direct you to the right place. Thanks again.